I'm only smart because I'm Asian.
And I'm white, so I'm stupid and lazy.
I get a good grade, and that's only credited to the fact that I'm Asian and not to my efforts.
I walk into Starbucks with Ugg boots on, and suddenly I'm your typical white girl.
I'm a Latina, so I'm hot-headed and unreasonable.
I'm black, so I'm dangerous to the kids around me.
I'm mad at you, and suddenly the only thing that matters is my heritage and not the fact that you've done something wrong.
I'm applying for a job, and all you see is the color of my skin, not my outstanding resume.
I'm Mexican, so suddenly I'm poor and an illegal immigrant. You can't seem to see that I've been living here all my life. You look at me, but you don't see me for who I really am.
This is Sarah.
This is Chelsea.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, about 77% of the United States is Caucasian or white.
About 17% is Hispanic or Latino, 13% is African American, and 5% are Asian.
The rest are Native American, Alaska Native, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander, or multiple races.
As you can see, we have quite a bit of variety here in America.
And rather than separating and discriminating,
we should learn to love and appreciate all of the different aspects that make up our country.
About 422 languages are spoken here.
And thousands more cultural traditions.
The aspects of these cultures are not here to be made fun of.
Or judged.
Or imitated in an insulting way.
But rather to be appreciated and learned about.
And most definitely admired.
Because culture really is beautiful.
Now for some of the things that we'd like to touch upon.
Cultural appropriation.
For those of you who don't know, cultural appropriation is the adoption of certain aspects of a culture that you are not a part of.
This isn't necessarily a bad thing, as long as it's done in the right, respectful way.
Oftentimes it's done unintentionally, but that doesn't make it right.
For example, a Native American war bonnet is awarded to an honorable warrior in the same way that a military medal of honor would be awarded to an honorable American war hero.
One would never use a military medal of honor as a Halloween costume or fashion statement, and yet time and time again, we see war bonnets being used as a costume.
Therefore dishonoring and devaluing the purpose of the war bonnet.
Another example is the bindi.
The bindi is a decoration common in Hinduism that is worn between the eyebrows of a woman.
It is a symbol of the female energy and is also worn to symbolize the third eye.
As of late, however, the bindi has been worn as a fashion statement by people who don't know what it symbolizes.
Again, dishonoring the symbolism of the bindi.
These are just two of many examples of negative cultural appropriation
that are common in today's society.
I'll be honest, before doing research to make this video, I wasn't aware of a lot of the common cases of negative cultural appropriation.
So if you aren't sure about something that you're wearing or doing, simply learn about it.
And while the bindi and war bonnet and other cultural pieces are very beautiful,
they do serve a symbolic purpose and should never be dishonored for the purpose of fashion statements.
We're not asking that you be constantly worried about offending people,
just that you're aware of your actions.
Another topic we would like to touch upon regarding culture
is people discriminating against other cultures for their stereotypes.
As we talked about earlier in this video,
most people are stereotyped for their race or ethnicity.
Even the races that aren't commonly oppressed.
A lot of people stereotype without realizing they're doing it just because we've been living with these racial stereotypes all around us.
Using racial slurs and offensive nicknames, whether in a joking or insulting manner, is much more common than you'd think.
Sometimes people don't realize what they're saying or thinking is wrong because they've never been told about the effects of it.
Just the other day, I was walking home and a boy around our age was screaming the word faggot at his friend, and when I turned around and told him that he needed to stop, he seemed surprised.
And not in the way that one would normally be surprised by being scolded, more like surprised that it was considered a terrible thing by someone else.
Although faggot was not actually a racial slur, it still carries the same magnitude of hate as any other.
So don't be ignorant to the things that you say.
And also don't be ignorant to the things that you think.
I'll admit it, I've thought some pretty stereotypical things about other strangers before, and I'm not proud of it either.
So the only thing you can do to change that or make up for it is rather than looking at someone and characterizing them by their heritage,
I can learn to know the aspects of that person's individual personality and appreciate them for everything that they are.
And if you've ever been stereotyped yourself, which I'm sure you have, you know just how bad it feels to be characterized by something that you wouldn't necessarily want to define you.
To sum it up,
do not
wear culturally inspired clothing that might be offensive. Do
learn about the culture you're exchanging with and appreciate the symbols you're using. Do not
use any type of offensive slur. Anytime, anywhere, don't do it.
There's really nothing you can do to replace a slur because they're absolutely terrible, so really just don't do them. Don't use them. Ever. Please. Never. Do not
stereotype people based on their appearance.
Get to know them and love them for their individual personality.
That's all for today.
Thanks for watching. Toodaloo!
By the way, we don't plagiarize.
So feel free to educate yourself down in the
Educate Yourself box
for all the sources we used to create this video.
Okay, bye.